Group Captain Rajiv Kumar Narang, make sense of what we are seeing in the air around us, the visuals that we are seeing. Just give us an explanation of an expert group captain of what is the threat that Pakistan is attempting to pose at the moment using their air power.
Rajdeep, Pakistan is not able to use a conventional air power against the Indian Air Force, so they are resorting to use of drones and other less expensive and missiles. In terms of drones, their loitering drones, normally they will be loitering drones will be detected and neutralized at shorter ranges between 1 to 15 kilometers. Indians have made their own loitering drones. Indian companies have made which can go up to about 100 to 300 kilometers, and they can fly for about 4 to 8 hours. And Indian drones will pose a challenge in addition to what we have acquired it from friends. So in terms of counter-drone systems, India has developed several counter-drone technologies, and those technologies will play a critical role. I'm sure we will be evaluating and upgrading them as we gain experience. Right. And these technologies will have a critical role, since Pakistan can develop number of small drones in-house by their own developers, as well as they can get from Chinese friends. Thirdly, they have a collaboration with Turkey. Fourthly, they have their licensed manufacturing drones with Italy. So I think they are trying a low-cost option and trying to draw out our air defenses. We will have to ensure that we do not get into that trap and keep our air defenses secure for the larger threat when it comes to a man-to-man fighter strike. And I think we will be evaluating regularly
what we've seen this morning, though,
capabilities of the Pakistan.
I take your point.
Certainly,
Group Captain, I'm just going to stop you for a moment, because, Gaurav, we've seen this morning India strike back and neutralize, as per reports, as per India's official statement, Lahore's air defense system. We even went as far as Rawalpindi. That's as close that we can get to the GHQ. Therefore, that's obviously set a mode of panic. We saw the kind of visuals that came in. Rawalpindi Stadium was among the places that was targeted as, again, as I said, as close to the GHQ. So you're getting a sense that India is going into parts which we haven't gone since 1971. I mean, we are reaching parts of Pakistan now, using our own drone and missile technology this morning. Clearly, Pakistan now responding. What happens next?
Oh, we've gone way deeper, Rajdeep. You'd recall 2019, we went all the way up to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and banged them in Balakot. So, our penetration inside Pakistan is immense. And trust me on this, when we went into Balakot, when Indian Air Force went into Balakot, it went across the line of control and bombed across the international border.
But we didn't see this escalatory spiral when we went into Balakot. Now we are seeing an escalatory spiral, and that seems to be the distinction between 2019 and 2025. Now we are seeing it in the matter of hours, not even days. You're seeing a tit-for-tat retaliation taking place in a matter of hours. In the last 48 hours, we have seen several attempts made by Pakistan to once again escalate and push India almost.
So that's the difference, Rajdeep, between the army chief then and General Asim Munir now. The then army chief used to play it safe because he knew that Pakistan is not superior to the Indian armed forces. He knew it and he accepted it. General Asim Munir knows Pakistan is not superior, but he's now testing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's will. And he knows Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to ensure that the armed forces hit him even harder. And yet he's doing this, and he's being hit hard. He's been hit hard now. He will be hit hard even harder. And Raj can tell us better, Rajdeep, because Raj has studied General Asim Munir pretty closely.
Before I come to you, Raj, again in a moment, because we've got Sunil Ji Bhatt, who is in a position where he really is literally in the line of fire at the moment. Sunil, you are, I hope, safe. Tell us what you're seeing around you.
Rajdeep, the location I was at earlier was not safe. There were loud explosions there. I have moved out of that location, but I just want to give one update. This is as per my sources in the defense establishment. 8 missiles from Pakistan were directed at Satwari, Samba, Araspura and Arnia. All have been intercepted, blocked by air defense units. Visuals from Jammu remind of exactly Hamas-style attack on Israel, like multiple cheap rockets. Pak army operating and behaving like a terror organization. That's what the word has come from defense sources. But we have, foiled Pakistan's attempt to target vital installations in Jammu. And as far as the civilian areas, the residential areas in Jammu are concerned, there is total blackout. People are confining themselves to their homes.
Bringing you in, Raj, we'll go back to Sunil in a moment, but the point that Gaurav raised with you, you've got a Pakistani general who seems to be determined to get into a conflict because conflict increases his own relevance. You've got India with Prime Minister Modi, who's already made it very clear kinetic action is part of our strategic doctrine and we will respond in kind. How do you see this, therefore? Does this increase the dangers? While there are those who are seeing this as a potential war-like situation, I presume no one really wants war, but how are you seeing it given the stand that the two countries are taking, given the kind of establishment we now have in Pakistan as well in comparison to 2019?
We are seeing, yesterday India sent a very strong message about that enough is enough when it comes to terror. It moved not just Balakot plus, but it was plus with the 9 strikes that it did. Now the general is sending a message to us. And Rajdeep, this is war. He's saying...
You're using that word now. This is what? Is what has happened in the last 1 hour an effective declaration of war?
Have you seen... I've gone through 71. I was a young boy in 65. Air sirens going, bomb blasts going across. For civilian, even for journalists like us who've been at the front, these are very disconcerting sounds. And to see our own correspondents hide like this, see the front right across. He has hit us not only, Pakistan has tried to hit us right across Jammu and Kashmir, moves some in Punjab. We've seen Jaisalmer and the other extreme in Bhuj. So what is the big message he's saying? He's saying, and he's escalated it to military installations, as we saw. We also struck back. And once we get into this loop on the spiral, the answer, look, just to give you an example, Rajdeep, historically, 1999, the Kargil War. I was in Pondicherry with Prime Minister Vajpayee, and it was one of those routine kind of meetings that was going on. And there he announced that there would be airstrikes starting. That was the beginning of the Kargil War. I think we are seeing a turning point at the moment. This is going straight to that point. It is going to be very, very difficult because India has to strike back the kind of things that has happened here. And I don't know how Sandeep will describe it, but I think we're heading to that.
Given what you just said, India now has to take some hard choices. Rajnath Singh is reviewing the situation with the Chief of Defence Staff. In his press briefing today, the Foreign Secretary made it clear again that India's action this morning was only in retaliation to what Pakistan had done last night. Now, given what we've seen in the last 1 hour, we are going rapidly up an escalatory spiral, and that is the major concern. Just to repeat, Jammu Civil Airport was under attack over an hour ago. 8 missiles intercepted by India's S-400 missiles. Multiple blasts were reported in and around Jammu. Drone attacks on Udhampur, Akhnur, Pathankot, Jaisalmer that have been repelled by India's air defense systems. But all in all, we are getting into a dangerously warlike situation that can spiral out of control. And that really is the concern. Purely in military terms, Sandeep, how is that escalatory spiral defined? Given what we've seen today, are we now to use that 3-letter word that we are entering increasingly a warlike situation where retaliation on both sides could simply spiral out of control?
Well, Rajdeep, I think we are still in the escalatory, a ladder which is way below a full-scale offensive, a full-scale war, or even a cold start kind of mobilization of the forces. Because, Rajdeep, for war to be declared, first the forces have to be mobilized. We have not ordered a general mobilization of all the military. The army, for instance, that would be our weapon of choice if we were to go to war. The army has not been mobilized to an extent that it will move formations towards the border, just like we did after the parliament attack in 2001, Parakram. That would be the first signs of a war. breaking out. But so far, it seems to be India and Pakistan slugging it across the line of actual control and the international border. Of course, India has responded in a way it has never responded in the past, not since the 1971 war, by targeting terrorist infrastructure and later military infrastructure across the heartland of Pakistan, which is the Punjab province. It's never struck Punjab, and it has done so now in less than the span of 48 hours. 2 strikes, Operation Sindoor, the first wave, and Operation Sindoor, the second wave, both of it striking targets inside Pakistan's Punjab province. But as of now, it appears that it is a warlike situation without escalating into a full-scale war, which would be preceded by a general mobilization of troops, by a general mobilization of the Indian Army. It is when the Indian Army mobilizes that would be the first indications that we would be going into something like resembling a cold start alternative, which is what we had planned to do after the parliament attack, when